shit, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing out there? This is Intergalactic Interviews, and this is episode 120. Yes, we've finally reached 120 years of age, and we've been kind of discussing back and forth about how to do these ads because we've been doing them now for like 100-something episodes. But guess what? I think we're gonna just, plow right in, have a great time, see what happens, and you can judge us later. How about that? Of course, to my right is my co-host, as always, Michael Saavedra.
Hello.
And on the boards, we have the corpulent. Is that the word I want to use?
I don't know.
No,
I've never heard that word before.
It's made up.
Yeah.
And, no, it might not.
Sounds
be.
good.
Yeah, it might not be, but it's complimentary. The complimentary Chris Martin we have always on the boards. Of course, I am MD of the Boomsday Alliance, and our guest this week is the lovely, the talented Nomi Chi. And as we get into that, we should probably let you all know, our listeners, about a fantastic opportunity right now. If you go to floathouse.ca right now, you're going to find yourself at the premier isolation tank experience in the Lower Mainland. Also in Alberta now. What? So in British Columbia and Alberta, Float House is just redefining how it is, like a good way to spend your time. It's fantastic. I like it personally because you get your own private tank, obviously, but you get your own private room, your shower, your own set of slippers, house coat. It's like a spa for your mind. It's super tranquil. It allows you to totally unwind and unlock the mysteries of your mind. Or maybe not. Or maybe just relax. It doesn't have to be so scholarly. But
it really doesn't.
It doesn't have to be such an academic.
Might want to go lay in some water for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be
good.
Such a fantastic voyage, MD, is what they want to tell me.
Yeah.
But realistically, though, if you're looking to try it out, we have a great offer for you right now. If you use our podcast promo code, recently tested in front of us by the Zaremba brothers themselves, if you go ahead and use our podcast promo code IIPodcast, you get 20% off. Michael Saavedra, what is that podcast promo code?
That would be II Podcast.
Yes, that smooth baritone you just heard, it was just absolutely confirming to you that it is indeed lowercase I, podcast. It's fantastic. We float. You should float. Try it out. It's going to be great. There's a location probably right down your street. Okay, now that being said, we are also very grateful to be sponsored by our, now this is like long-running sponsor, we can say this now, long-running.
Sure.
And we just heard recently they're happy with us, so that's even better. That's like the nice tip of the cap.
That's ideal.
It's fantastic. I think...
Super pissed.
Yeah.
Imagine they just
Fuck these guys.
Dude, this is the worst content. Actually, I'm gonna hand this off to Mike Saavedra because he is the resident knowledgeable person about this. Michael, what are we drinking today?
We are sponsored by Off the Rail Brewing.
What?
Located in the East Van in the Yeast Van district.
Yeast Van.
Yeast Van.
Yeast Van.
Delicious.
We are drinking the Raj Mahal. This is their award-winning Canadian Brew Week award-winning beer. It is it's like an India Pale Ale, but it's
tastes delicious.
Made with lemongrass and and a bunch of different hops.
I like it.
It's a beauty of a beer, and we thank you so much. And recently this week, they just got their beer into BC Place. So when you're going to Whitecaps games or BC Lions games, or you can just heading to a concert, you can get Off the Rail Brewing now at BC
so you can drink
Place
this,
Stadium.
Drink this while you're watching local sports teams.
Beauty.
Man.
Wonderful.
Drink local beer while you're watching your local sports.
That's the Canadian dream.
You gotta have
right there.
You gotta have
Yeah,
it.
I actually don't really like beer, and this is really nice. It's like really light and citrusy.
Huh?
Ideal. Yeah.
See that?
It's a beautiful like summer
Nice.
beer, and it's not overly hoppy, and it has that like faint lemongrass taste in it. I think it's
a beautiful summer evening for beautiful
Nomi,
summer beer.
Thank you for putting aside your standards and drinking with us. We appreciate that. First of all, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming to do this.
Well, thanks for having me.
We've had this circled on the calendar for many weeks since we booked this, and I just want to say right off the bat, I have to do this because I feel like I'll be walking on eggshells the whole show. So I have to just straight up ask right away.
Okay.
So you recently posted publicly that you want to be referred to gender-wise as a certain methodology to that.
Yeah.
I don't want to incorrectly refer to you in a way that you don't prefer to be referred to. So
Yeah, well, thanks.
how do I address you properly? How do I say Nomi Chi?
This
Pronouns,
person.
yeah.
You could use she or they.
Okay.
It's totally up to you.
She or they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they is too much, just pretend that there's like a tiny person in my pocket or something, and
Okay.
yeah, you're referring to both
I like
of us.
that. That's good. I've never been educated properly on this. I like that. The imagery of someone else being there.
Yeah.
That helps. Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, because I've recently been working with an artist that I've been producing that is working with a director, and the director is gender neutral, and they only respond to theys.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like an idiot in the initial meeting because I found out
Did you
20
keep
seconds.
tripping?
Oh yeah, big time. Like 20
Yeah.
seconds going into the meeting. We're just trying to like, set up this meeting, and then I 20 seconds before they're like, hey, heads up, this is the
Just
situation.
FYI, yeah.
Yeah, and so
And you're like, okay, got it, and then
You're right.
immediately you're like, shh.
yeah. Like, have you ever seen improv where they're like, you can't use the letter A, and you're like, okay, here you go, and you're like, you know, yeah, that's what I felt
Yeah.
like it was terrible improv basically, but no, it was good. It was I guess this is the sign of the times of progress.
Yeah.
And this is how you feel most comfortable.
Yeah, I
This
think
is
you'll
how we should
find like
support you.
most people who are gender neutral or have alternative pronouns to what might be immediately apparent are pretty chill about it.
I think you'd have to be, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, unless you're being antagonistic.
like purposefully antagonistic.
Yeah.
That would be if you restricted what people can call you to such a finite
Yeah.
amount. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would. I kind of almost want to try it out. Just be a little antagonistic. Just do it like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make light of that. I want to. I want you to know that. How long have we known each other now? Less than 10 years, but more than 5.
No, wait. Like 7-ish years, I think,
7-ish years.
give or take.
Mm.
So I met you at the Dollhouse
Oh wow.
many moons ago.
Is that one of those? I'm sure I had a great time.
Yeah, we all had a great time.
Yeah, good. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so close to 10 years. Close to 10 on the
Yeah.
other side of the
Yeah.
5-year mark.
Been a while.
While. And I've always found you to be so fascinating. You are self-admittedly shy as fuck.
Yeah.
And
Here I am.
so I was like, what? You're going to do this show? I was like, oh my God. Yes, I circled
Let's
it.
do a video podcast.
Yeah.
I bought a physical calendar and then circled it. Yeah, I was like, fuck you, Google Calendar, and threw it out. I was thinking, there's just so many questions that come to mind
Yeah.
because you have this fantastic art style.
Mm-hmm.
You also have this like fantastic view on life. I'm just so curious about all this.
Okay.
First of all, have you ever done podcasts like this before?
Not like this, no. I'm actually, like, I just started my own podcast. but
Right.
It's definitely not up to par with this, whereas
Come on.
you have somebody doing, like, producing for you and a co-host.
Well,
Yeah, for me, it's just me and a friend in one of those rent-a-booths at the Vancouver Public Library.
Smart.
Trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to use Audacity.
Audacity, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, like, I started this just in front of the computer by myself, and it was just production diaries. And
Yeah.
I feel like this comes up every fucking show, so I'm not going to bore the listeners with this. But I will say that, like, the evolution of this show is, like, easily chartable. Like, it's like high
Yeah.
watermarks for sure. Like, the idea that this was just like in a bedroom,
Yeah.
you know, or
Start from
not
the
even
bottom.
in the living room on the kitchen table,
Mm-hmm.
shitty like that, like, and then, like, you know, building up to whatever. Like, every week we come in here, we're always like, what? How is this?
Can't believe it.
Yeah, how
You've
is
made
this
it to
possible?
the Float House.
Yeah, what?
Top tier shit.
Top tier. You know what I mean?
Look at this. There's controllable lights in here.
Yeah. There's like a plant.
I was like, yeah.
Like
There's
honeycomb.
yeah, the honeycomb plant growing on the wall. It's very very
Yeah.
powerful.
And there's so much pink rock salt. You know?
Yeah.
Himalayan
Yeah,
salts
man.
everywhere.
Like, have you seen this giant rock behind me here? Have you seen?
It's pretty big.
Like,
Yeah, we were just talking about that before you came in.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what they're supposed to do. something about ionizing.
Do you guys know?
Something?
Do you guys know what they do?
I have
No?
no idea.
Hold on, I just
Absolutely
noticed.
none.
I just noticed Chris Martin's not on mic today. You fine with that? You don't want to be involved? Look at this. Look at this guy.
It sounds better when he's from a distance and you can faintly hear him. It's almost better that way. You just see this like,
Chris Martin going into business for himself. That's what they call it there in the wrestling biz. Going into business for himself, making his own storyline. Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
You currently are employed. You're a resident tattooist.
Yep.
I saw you write in your bio like tattooer.
Yeah.
And I wrote that
Either
down.
or.
Well, I wrote that down in the
Is
social media, and I was like, hold on. I'm just taking this verbatim. I'm like, wait a minute, it's probably tattooist, right? And I don't know. But I'm like, it's you doing it, so I have to trust
Yeah.
you. So, because you are a resident tattooist, you also have the ability and perk to tour around
Yeah.
doing tattoos. Now, what's that like? How did that start? Like you were doing tattoos at first,
Yeah.
locally, and then you were like, wow, I have a lot of requests to do tattoos.
Well,
What happened?
The request didn't really come in at first. I started touring because some friends of mine who are tattooers, tattoo artists in Halifax invited me out to their shop. And I figured, hey, this is like a really great opportunity for me to travel and see my buds and go to Halifax for the first time and maybe work if I get business there. And it turned out that, it was pretty successful.
Yeah.
Business-wise.
Right?
And it was great.
'Cause, like,
and I got to like pay for my trip as I went. And I fell in love with that kind
I
of
love it.
lifestyle. And
It's
I've
like
been doing it since.
it's like glamorous transient
Yeah.
in a way, right?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, because like when you're on the road, like for music or something like that, you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm just grinding it out, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But you're
Well,
like,
it's the same for tattooing.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like sleeping on my friends' couches and eating at like the 7-Eleven.
That's still
a lot.
glamorous.
I mean,
nachos at 7-Eleven.
oh man.
Mm-hmm.
4 a.m.
nice little
taquitos.
big bite combo, you know?
Little big bite com.
Is that your other sponsor?
Yeah.
Coming next week.
Yeah. Using our podcast promo code 711FAT. That's coming
That
up.
gets you double cheese.
Double cheese, bud.
Double cheese.
I don't doubt it. Because I don't know if you've looked. I'm down 9 pounds, as I was just telling you
Yeah,
guys off air.
congratulations.
Down 9 pounds as of January. I'm on keto. That's why I'm sipping this beer very gingerly, although it's delicious off the rail. We love you guys.
Yeah. You could like sip it and then spit it back out, right?
Yeah.
Like wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is that what, like in a bucket?
Yeah.
What do they do with the bucket after?
Drink it.
Drink it, for sure, right?
They do not.
Yeah,
they
they
do
do.
not.
They label it, and they're like, this is your bucket. This is what you spit out all day if you want it. You know, it's yours. Like, what?
I've always thought that was a scam. I mean, what? Like you go to there's the Vancouver International Wine Festival this weekend, and I've been to it before, and every booth they're like, oh, I recommend you spit that one out, sir. I'm like, dude, this ticket was $100. There's no way I'm spitting any of this into that bucket. I'm like, let's go with the next 3, and they're like,
Take it easy, Steve Rule.
okay. No way, Jose.
Okay.
Sweet berry wine.
I'm just picturing you amongst all these like really like high
Oh,
falutin.
Yeah, pinkies up, people.
Dressed in a nice suit, you know, I got
Yeah.
my overstuffed plate of like crackers and cheese there, and you're walking around
Overstuffed.
everything. I'm just like, which cheese do I
It's
don't
crumbs
care. I'm just
flying
like,
out.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stuff do we drink with
Yeah.
this?
This ticket was $100.
I'm getting my money's worth.
Complain about the ticket. I love
Make
that.
me.
I love this. Yeah, no kidding.
There's enough trashy people around there too. You can
Oh,
see,
yeah.
you can pick them out. You're like, yeah,
Your people.
Those people are doing exactly the same
C-Mart
thing.
just
Yeah.
pointed to Saavedra. He's like this guy. How dare you? He says. Yeah. I was wondering when you're like couch hopping and stuff like that. Obviously, it's like because you're financially on tour, essentially, like
Yeah.
right. So you're just building up your capital and value. Did you find your value increased like in your rates But when you got back, were you like this exotic commodity suddenly? You're like, oh my
well,
goodness.
I determine my own rates, which is kind of determined by the people around me in Vancouver and how other shops and how other tattooers kind of determine their rates.
So like the market dictates.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
Yeah,
okay.
kind of. But the demand for my work definitely ramped up quite a bit.
Right.
When I started touring quite a lot.
Because I see you post stuff on social media occasionally where you're like, I'm taking bookings for the next few weeks or whatever, or this month, or this month coming up in the future. Email me if you have a design you want or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like 15 minutes later, you'll be like, everything's booked. Okay, later, guys. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's
I don't know. I really don't know how that happened.
Like that's insane. That means people are like hovering their notifications all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I think that's a powerful thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome to see that success and how it's growing. And you're basically deciding when you want to go out on tour. Is that like how that works?
Yeah, basically. Well, now it's a bit more difficult because I want to work on my gallery practice a lot more, which requires me to be in Vancouver or at least in the same place for like a big swath of time for me to plan and make objects.
You had a gallery viewing just down the road from here at Float House recently.
Did I?
Didn't we run into each other a couple months ago? And you were like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Going to do the podcast." And
I was going to my studio, I think.
Oh, your studio, maybe?
Yeah,
Wasn't there,
which is at like Main
you,
and Hastings.
Wait, I ran into you on the last night of your last. It was like an art show.
Yeah,
but I guess
so.
you do these all the time.
Yeah,
so
like
maybe.
which show, man?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to be a part of your success. I'm like, I was there on the last day.
Oh,
no,
dude.
No, I don't know what I'm doing.
I was there on the last day.
I was there on the last day. No, you weren't. You ran into me on the way there.
At least say
It's
you went
not the
during the
same.
middle, because
Yeah.
then maybe they won't be there during that time.
It's not the same.
It was happening, and we ran into each other.
That's it.
That's the thing.
That was the story,
happened.
and I tried to make it.
Yeah, you tried to ramp up your involvement.
Opening night, man.
I was there.
Yeah, you were hosting.
I was jerking the curtain. I was fucking. Oh, who's in there? Like trying to hosting. Yeah, I was hosting. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do art shows have hosts?
Not any ones I've been to.
No.
Not that I know of.
No.
Hilarious.
I mean,
Hard no.
I'm sure it could happen.
What would that be? Because there's not like a stage. There'd just be a guy going around being
I
like,
think-
Talking louder than everybody.
Yeah.
Hello.
This piece over here is just
It
fantastic.
sounds like an auction. Or maybe like a performance art piece would be that person hosting.
Right.
And being obnoxious.
That's me, the obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. The perform.
You could propose a grant,
Oh, how much do you think I could get for that?
like 20 G's.
Ooh, like conservatively, like 20 G's.
Yeah, about.
Chris Martin says
Yeah.
5 in the background. Says no, it's like a $5,000 project. There's no way they're gonna give you 20
Lucky to get that
Gs
big bite
be
combo at 7-Eleven.
That's right. That's 7-Eleven fat if you use our podcast promo code right now. I gotta ask. You mentioned earlier that the market somewhat dictates the rates.
Yeah.
Who are some of the other artists in the city that you're looking at their work and saying, okay, I like that. I like what they're doing. I like their rates make sense. That kind of thing. Like who fits
Well,
that
it's more
criteria?
like the shops, because usually for tattoo artists, the shop will determine the rate. For all of the artists, it's like an umbrella rate. And the usual rate right now is about between $180 to $190 an hour, as far as I know. And that's for like well-established downtown shops with artists that are sought after.
Right.
Yeah.
So the shop rate, is that in addition to the artist rate?
No.
No.
That is the artist rate.
Oh, it's all in.
Yeah.
I see.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
All the
I'm
artists charge
so
that.
unaware.
No, yeah, if you need me to clarify anything, just
Absolutely.
let me know, because this is something I'm so mired in, I just don't even know what you don't know.
That's it's funny because there's like I'm trying to see if there's like because perception wise, like are you tattooing like in a tattoo bubble essentially? Like are you like I do this so often all the time and I'm so in there because like
Kind of, I try not to. Like, my best friends are not tattooers and also not gallery artists, and I feel like I've curated that specifically so that I have a little bit of know-how as to how the real world is working every now and then.
the real world. Hilarious.
Yeah. Although with tattooing, just like every day with my clients, I meet people from all swaths of life, and I meet just all different kinds of people, and I hang out with non-tattooers most of the time because I'm not really spending time with my coworkers. I'm spending time with my clients.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And they're just regular people.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how you said you curated that. That's
Yeah.
good. So many people have these lifestyles that they've created for themselves that they're like, I don't even know why I hang with these people. But
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
just around me all the time.
all the time. And you're like, what? You're responsible for that. Like,
yeah, that's boring.
It is boring. It is boring having.
It makes you boring.
Right.
Yeah, not you specifically, just like general.
No.
You're not boring.
What makes one boring? It makes one. I'm actually really bad for that. I try to say one.
Okay, I'll try that too.
But I'm always addressing.
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah, you're dumb. Like no.
It'll be like this. They'll be like, you know how if you did this, you do this, and then say you beat your wife, and you're like, whoa, are you addressing this to me? Yeah, you're like, whoa, what are you saying? It's like, you mean one? If one would beat his or her or their life,
I'm not beating anybody.
wife. Exactly. Nice use of there, by the way. Thanks for propping up my
Anytime.
sensitivity. trying to get a on the run graduate course here in sensitivity.
All right.
Understanding.
That's what I'm here for. Sensitivity training.
No. Yes. 100%. But no. But yes. No. No. I was thinking because your art style is it's rather unique. I don't see. I very rarely see stuff where I'm like, oh, this looks like Nomi or someone. You know, like you have this very unique style. Who do you find is like your, like, it's cliche. I don't want to be like, who's your inspiration? Who's your this? But like, what is your, like, who's an artist you saw growing up and you were like, wow, I love their work?
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I started working the way I work, like my style now, like shortly after I got back from a trip to Europe where I was studying for about 5 months. And I was getting tattooed by all these other tattooers who were kind of testing the boundaries of what tattooing could be. And up until then, I hadn't really experienced that in person. I'd only seen it maybe a little bit online, or maybe like here or there in magazines. And being able to interact with these tattooers in the flesh was really interesting, and I kind of got like a feel of how they worked and who they were as people, and that was really interesting, and I wanted to integrate that into my own practice. So there's that. And
so it was like a feeling at first.
Yeah, it was more of like a feeling.
Yeah.
And it still kind of is, because I don't really strive to be like another tattooer that I see or tattooers. I just kind of go for what feels good to me based off of like a whole swath of what I see going on in person or online, or like I also kind of want to strive for a sense of like immediacy in my work. And
how do you define that? Like, what does that mean to you?
A lot of it's like, a lot of my tattooing is improvised, which is a bit scary. So I kind of have like a base idea of what I want to do, and I kind of just build from there based on like kind of like how I feel about it.
I love this. I love that you have like admitting this, but like you're already aware of it, obviously, and that like people are already like, all your clients are happy and satisfied. But like the idea that like
it's really counterintuitive to like what you would assume the tattoo process would be.
That's what I was kind of referring to earlier with the bubble.
Yeah.
Is that like, from my point of view, I'm like, oh, you must have like your months planned out.
Yeah.
And like all this,
I kind of do. Like I'm very type A, but
are you?
Yeah.
When it comes to work.
Yeah, when it comes to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I'm working, I'm pretty like all over the place and chaotic.
That is okay. I find okay. This is what I meant earlier when I was like, you have a fascinating structure to how you do things. I love this. Okay, please continue, please.
Where was I? I don't know. Wait.
Type A.
Type A.
And chaotic when you're working, but also we were saying Michael.
very calculated in your business work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
well, I'm a really anxious and shy person, as you know. And to quell that, I have to feel like very in control of my environment and very in control of my schedule and how I spend my time.
Mm-hmm.
But once I sit my client down and I'm tattooing, I can kind of let go of that and kind of just feel it out.
I see. Okay, so it's more of a it's like a personal control,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just so even more fascinating to me because, like, part of like going on the road and doing your craft would mean setting up shop in areas you may have no idea what they're like, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
So
that like
it's
completely counterintuitive,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like,
it is. I mean, like when I do travel, it's kind of an exercise in relinquishing some of that control and just like taking that stick out of my ass and just being a human being for once. But I'm also like very much in control of my schedule when I'm on the road, and I'm very structured in how I schedule people when I'm on the road. Yeah.
So, and that's where you gain that control from it.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Okay, that's really brilliant, though. There's nothing.
Yeah, try.
Yeah,
it's been something I've been working on.
That's
with
awesome.
a lot of trial and error.
I like also that you can be a personality with work and not in other aspects of your life or something like that. Because, like from my point of view, I'm just one way. Like I'm like that's just
this
me.
Is just you.
Yeah,
That's what you get.
I should compartmentalize. What am I doing? I didn't even know that was an option that you could like be different like that. I should probably do that. I should probably do.
Well, I mean, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. That's.
I don't know.
You can't just go forcing it.
Yeah.
Then that's even more weird.
What would that be like? I'd be like, guys, when I do podcasts now, I'm gonna be a little
serious.
A little more serious.
Put on your serious voice.
Introverted.
Yeah.
A little less giving.
NPR.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of dead air. Is what I want. I'm like,
I think next week, this Ramble Brothers will be here. You guys are gone now.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, we cut the last show. You're kind of like Jim Rome, but no sports. Like you're just dead air all the time.
It was really disappointing to listen to.
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, that's good. Well, that means at least it's kind of good right now in that scenario. Good hypothetical. It's good. That's how I glean most of our compliments, just through hypothetical. Like, oh, they must like it because
it's an easy way for us to feel good.
Yeah. Because we made it up. That's good. I actually check this out. I heard a quote today, and what's that effect called? The Dunning. Hold on, let me look this up.
All right.
It's
Quick Google.
Kind of dumb of me. I just looked it up. Oh, Dunning-Kruger. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Do you know what this is?
I've never heard of it. No.
I didn't know about it until like 2 weeks ago, but it's been completely haunting all my thoughts. So essentially, it was a study done that basically, in principle, shows that dumb people think they're smarter than they are.
Oh, I heard a podcast about that actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and then and then smart people wildly underestimate their own intelligence.
Yeah.
And then I read a quote today that kind of sums all that up. That says, "It's a shame we live in an era and time where the ignorant are buoyed, supported." There it is. You'll notice on the video, if you watch this on video, that I did not have it in front of me. So, it's a shame in this era that the ignorant are supported by their confidence, while those who dream and have vision completely doubt their own, like that kind of thing. I love that.
Is that a contemporary issue though? I think that's kind of.
Has it always been?
That's always been like that.
Do you think?
Yeah, I base that off of nothing, but.
It
feels that way.
Tearing down the quote immediately. Is this a modern issue? No.
Yeah.
No, it's not. People are always dumb. I'm like, okay, and that's the.
They've always thought they were smart.
And that's all the time we have today, folks.
Use that podcast promo code.
Yeah, exactly. No, but like I think there's something somewhat, even though it's like awful in principle, there's something kind of beautiful about that.
What beauty do you find in that?
I find it beautiful that the human spirit is so unflappable at times.
Oh,
Even
and how?
Right. Yeah. Like in spite of itself.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't know. I there's something, because like it's that same feeling. The whatever the negatives of this Dunning-Kruger effect, the exact same feeling is what drove like Jonas Salk to like discover penicillin. And like, because like people are like, oh, you can't do it. Well, no, I have confidence I can do it.
Yeah, fuck you, I'll do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's weird, right? Like it's like, but at the same time, then you have things like the American election.
That's a doozy. Yeah.
Right. And like that's a large chunk of that, and that's probably why I just heard about it recently. But I don't know. I was curious if the one thing I'll say the one thing I do know about the tattoo world is I had a conversation at a dinner once across from this couple. It was one of these long table, like 40, 50 people show up to a dinner thing. And we had no idea who the other people at the table were. We just showed up in friendship. And the people across from us were like tattooists, tattooers. And,
they were tattoo artists.
Tattoo artists, thank you. And they had decided to like, engage with us and back and forth. And we after we swap our jobs and like what we're doing, small talk, we just started talking about tattoos. And I was like, so
did you expose your ignorance?
Big time, because I was, in Fight Club they talk about like disposable friends. That kind of thing. Like Chuck Palahniuk talks about these like friends that you only see once in a while. Yeah. Or these people, you
got like half hour with them. And,
right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
right.
Ciao. Yeah.
Well, excellent construction. But I decided, I was like, well, I'm probably never going to see these people again. So I'm just going to lay it all out.
Yeah.
So I was like, is there like tattoo feuds? Like, are there tattoo feuds?
Tattoos?
Tattoos? Taffeuds?
Taffeuds?
Yeah.
You gotta have an F in there.
Yeah. Taffeuds? And the guy's like, yeah. And I was like, really? And I was like, is he just like fucking around, like taking the piss?
Yeah.
And then he goes, no, it's true. He's like, I hate kitchen scratchers. And I was like, what's that? Now, have you ever heard this term before I go any farther?
Yeah.
You have?
Well, I was a kitchen scratcher,
This guy hated you.
Back when I started tattooing. I was more of like a living room scratcher, but I was definitely a scratcher.
So he put it like, he was like, I hate
this and this and this.
Yeah, I hate.
For example.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this is at a dinner that, he's like stuffing his face and in between bites spewing hate. It's like another
chicken
thing.
bones
Yeah,
and hate.
Exactly. Yeah. Chicken bone of hate. So I was kind of like, I always kind of thought it was like, oh, all tattoo artists probably get along, and
oh no,
the end of the story.
Well, that's like saying like, do all musicians like get along?
That's well documented though. I just think that's pretty out there.
That's true.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I guess tattooing's kind of in an interesting place because it's like very much in the forefront of pop culture, yet still very shrouded in mystery as to what the culture is like. Because I guess the only way you kind of get a glimpse into it is if you know a tattooer or tattooist. Or maybe if you watch those TV shows, which we all know,
or
are
you listen
very
or watch a
indicative.
podcast with a tattooerist.
Oh shit!
Tattooerist.
Hey.
That's temporary tattooing.
That's temporary tattooing. He says. Tattooerist.
Yeah, tattooerist.
Yeah, I like that. But yeah, you're right. Like, unless you have like that direct access to that knowledge.
But yeah, there's a lot of contention within the tattoo community, I guess.
Now, what does that usually stem from? Is it like skill based? Is it like you shouldn't be doing these kind of tattoos? You're not good enough.
Yeah, I guess.
Ask Jim or John.
Skill based or based on like your own taste that you're projecting on other people. I think the biggest one that I've witnessed is like older tattooers versus the newer generation.
This guy's a bit older, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Story.
Yeah. So the older folks versus the young kind of whippersnappers who don't know
he had painted
how easy they have it.
He had painted this this image of like these kitchen scratchers come in and they just completely ruin the whole industry. Like you know how unsafe it is? Do you know how terribly unsafe?
We haven't described what that is, by the way.
Oh, we should explain what can you, for the folks at home, explain?
Okay, well, a kitchen scratcher.
A colloquial explanation.
Yeah, so it's typically somebody who works out of their own house in their kitchen. doing poorly done tattoos.
There you go.
Yeah.
But like,
Or it could be a pejorative term for a new tattooer.
so you could just call them that.
You can just call someone a kitchen scratcher and it's
Get
just
your-
like, ouch, my feeling.
Yeah, get your kitchen scratch work out of here. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So in the midst of a tattoo argument, a targument.
Which would go down on Instagram probably.
Oh,
yeah.
an IG.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
where
the-
all modern
Oh.
arguments take
It's
place.
Yeah,
lit.
that's
It's
the
lit.
forum for tattooers.
It's lit AF. Flame emoji.
It
yeah.
makes sense though.
Okay.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
in every industry, like even with like in glass blowing, because our
There's
man,
glass blowing arguments.
I like to say at work, it's called Glass Beefs 2016.
Glass
I'm like,
beef.
I was like, hey man, you made that bong. That's the way I make a bong, and it's like
You
it's
stole
a
my
bong.
thing.
Yeah.
It does the same thing. Like you put opals in it, and they're like, yeah, but that's the way I make bongs,
That's my
and
signature
that's my
bong
thing.
making
And I'm like,
technique.
it's a
Sorry.
bong.
Sorry, was
Slow
that
down.
was that Wolf just now?
No, that's the way Wolf always tells
Oh.
me these stories.
Wolf. Well, guys, you know, there's something about Twitter beef you don't know. It's about glass.
He's like, this guy called him up and he said that's my carb cap style, and I'm just like,
Amazing.
who cares?
Oh, biting styles. That happens in music all the time. People bite styles. Yo, you sound like so and so. You sound like so and so. And
Yeah.
now it's like a whole. It's so widespread. No one calls anyone on it.
Yeah, do you think that's because it's like so postmodern and everything
Mm-hmm.
is so shared right now and genres aren't like really a thing anymore?
That's right. Because even sexuality is
Yeah.
kind of just like,
It's just this miasma of what the fuck?
what was that word you just used?
Miasma?
I love it.
Yeah.
Miasma. Man, I feel smarter.
You actually do though.
Yeah.
Not joking.
You can see it in his face. We'll be hearing that word on
Yeah.
the show for the next like 8 weeks.
It's like a miasma. I know it's not. I just
already-
like that
You
word.
gotta look it up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I gotta use it way out of context a couple times. That's hilarious.
We'll
That's
call him the miasma, Chris
Yeah.
Martin, next week.
The
That
miasma.
doesn't even make sense.
hilarious. I try to usually go alliteration in the intros, and that's why corpulent. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look that up right now.
Corpulent?
I think it means rotund.
Corpulent.
Let's look that up.
All right.
Corpulent.
Why would be calling him rotund?
I don't know. It was just the first word that came up with a C, and I was like, okay, here we go. Corpulent, an adjective of fat. Jesus, sorry, bud.
It's alright.
Didn't mean to say that to you. Yeah, synonyms: fat, obese, overweight, plump, portly, stout.
Okay. Well, C-Mart has a very slim figure.
He's
so,
very slim.
So it was ironic.
We covered a couple weeks ago that
There you
he
go. There
he
you go.
wears almost exclusively skinny jeans, and I said, "Aren't all jeans you wear skinny jeans?" And no, apparently he has massive calves,
Calves.
and he can't take off his pants occasionally.
Aw.
It's a fact. It's a fact. And I've been receiving photos
Oh,
from
no.
people that listen to the show, showing me like their pants and their calves, and being like, "Yeah, I have tight calves too when I wear dress pants." I'm like, "That's what a strange thing you've
Struggle
started."
is real.
Silly.
Tough out there, man.
It's tough out there. It's hard out there for a pimp. I know how you get down. I know.
Didn't say that.
You use those words. You said. I have more questions
Okay.
because
Let's hear them.
I think this show is based on questions. So
Okay.
I'm going to continue. Do you think that vulnerability plays a role in your art? Do you think?
In my tattoo work or in my
In-
painting or?
Well, you do visual art.
Yeah.
Like you do like. Of course, you do visual art, but I mean, you do like 3D kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain
Well-
what I'm saying. I don't possess.
Yeah, that's a very multifaceted question.
the class, yeah.
Let me think. Short answer, yes.
Yes?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
I mean, when I'm tattooing somebody, I'm putting them in a very vulnerable position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're in pain, often at the hands of a stranger. And they have to kind of keep it together enough for me to do my job. And I have to comfort them as well and kind of be part cheerleader, part therapist sometimes.
I relate to this.
Yeah, to guide someone through that process.
I relate to that completely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I guess I'm a little bit vulnerable in that I'm sharing my space with somebody and I'm super anxious, and it's not really my ideal situation, but it's what I have to do to get my job done.
I'm still so fascinated by the idea that you are like self-admittedly like anxious, like this
Yeah.
anxiety, and like you're shy, but then you're like, but I'm gonna go on the road, and go
Yeah.
into these areas I don't know anything where anyone, and I'm just gonna like permanently mark people.
Yeah, well,
know.
I think I'm anxious, and I also like to seek anxiety as well. I think it's a really good teacher.
I like
that
this.
feeling.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's like important to be layered like
Yeah.
that, especially in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's like when you see one-dimensional people, like
Yeah.
art, one-dimensional art and stuff like that. It's very
It's
obvious.
one-dimensional,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's very obvious in that. But
Yeah.
like if it really reflects the person, like it's multi-layered like you are,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's very important for longevity.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do you, do you think in terms of the future, like longevity, like how long you want to do this? Like
To keep
obviously,
tattooing?
it's a life.
Ideally, I would like to keep tattooing until my hands fall off.
Right.
Until I'm like physically incapable of tattooing. I
Sure.
really love it. It's been really good for me and really good to me. Like it's how I put myself through college.
I'm sure all your followers are probably like, yes, please don't,
Yeah, please keep doing that.
don't
thing.
stop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really helped me become a better person and a more multifaceted person because I get to meet all these people, and it really has helped me kind of break my misconceptions about how people
Mm-hmm.
are.
Well, where are you from? Where are you from Vancouver?
I grew up in Vancouver, but I was born in Toronto.
Born in Toronto. So
Yeah.
I'm from Ontario too.
What part of Ontario?
Northwestern
Oh,
Ontario.
What city?
Oh, just let me let you know right now. Just from the land of progressive thought, Kenora, Ontario.
Husky.
Okay.
Husky the Muskie. If you
Right
haven't
on.
looked that up, but don't worry about it. Yeah, like basically.
Kenora, you didn't say it.
I didn't say Kenora. Oh, sorry, Kenora. It's
Okay.
Kenora, Ontario. It's Northwestern Ontario. It's like 2 hours east of Winnipeg.
Okay.
So right on the border there. But this is my ride coming here actually talking about Kenora.
Cool.
The one was like you were born in Toronto.
Yeah.
But did you live like downtown Toronto?
Yeah. I kind
Really?
of- yeah.
That's so rare to meet someone like.
My mom had a bookstore that for a while was like in or around Kensington Market.
Wow, so like right in the thick.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Jeez.
like old Toronto too, like back when it was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you've always had like an exposure to like many walks of life,
People.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, my parents too, they were like hippies and they were radicals, and they always invited people like that into our home. People like that. That wasn't
People
supposed to
like-
have that kind of stank on it.
Jeez.
Nonetheless.
People like that.
People like that.
You know, undesirables.
Yeah. Well, my
exactly.
mom would
Yeah.
always like bring me to protests and stuff. So.
Wow, from a
it's-
young age?
Yeah. So it's always been a part of my life, being with like a mix of people.
I remember. This is like weird, but I remember being at a rally.
Yeah.
My father was a vice president of a union,
Holy shit.
a large one, and it was like very encompassing in his
Yeah.
life. And I remember I was quite young. I don't even know. I must have been like 4 or 5, if
Yeah.
that. But I remember walking around, and it was such a vivid experience that like I still remember. Like I remember not being able to hold up the sign because it was too big, and then I also remember
Aw.
like the chants.
What an image.
I know. Just to give you an idea of what this was, it was like a protest against GST.
Holy shit.
Do you remember any of this?
Vaguely.
I'm a couple of years older than you.
Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah, right. So it was like maybe the beginning of the 90s or something like that, and the chant was "No GST, no GST, axe the tax, axe the tax," and then repeating "No
Yeah.
GST, no
Oh,
GST."
it's really imprinted on
And that
you.
was the day you decided, I'm going to be really into hip hop.
Yeah. And I was like,
Oh, look, rhymes.
Yeah. Stick beat.
tax, the tax. Yeah.
Like, this sounds good.
Yeah, it's a nice drop to this.
Yeah.
Tight.
It's just
I'm
like
a producer.
like J-Rock. That
Yes.
sounded pretty cool. Scratching. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm a producer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fast forward. That started me on the path. Yeah. I don't know, but did you attend this rally that just happened a couple weeks ago? This like
Women's
the
March?
women's march. Yeah.
I didn't go to that one specifically because I was with my dad. But yeah, I went to quite a few Black Lives Matter walks or protests or rallies back when that was going on.
What do you think about in Toronto right now, especially because you were born there? Ooh, hometown connection. Here we go. It was just going to be an opinion piece, but now I got ooh, hometown connection. It's just going to be an opinion, but now I got you lured in. What do you think about Black Lives Matter requesting that the Pride Parade eliminate the police presence and their like floats and whatnot in the parade? What do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's pretty tough. I think it's kind of a good thing. I don't really see the benefit of the police being a presence in the Pride Parade. I think the police kind of, as an institution, really antagonizes a lot of people who the Pride Parade should be representing.
Which is like everyone.
Yeah, like queer folks and folks of color and
Right.
a lot of different marginalized people who intersect with that. So, yeah, I think maybe if the police wanted to be involved with the Pride Parade, they could, I don't know, kind of
Protect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nomi, if you could just fix the world here in 20 words or less, that'd be great. Just
Oh,
go
man,
ahead.
just offer a tweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't have the answers.
I felt kind of weird at first when I heard, I'll be honest, like first time I heard it, I was like, because like 30, 40 years ago, they were probably turning like the hoses on them and like, not, barring large gatherings of the LG.
I think like a good relationship between the police and a community is like much needed, but I don't think like I haven't seen any efforts on behalf of like the police force as an institution to really bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not,
No, I agree with
we're
that.
not really there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. But like, even I mean, it's hard to do this because like the farther away from that initial event, the wider the brush becomes when we start painting people like that. But like, we've talked a little bit about this before on the show, but it feels like there needs to be significant change from within the ranks. Like, you hear like the adage like, you hear about the bad cops, but you never hear about the good ones. But it's like, if there's good ones protecting the bad ones, then
they're
there
not
are
good.
then
Yeah.
there are no good cops.
It's
you know?
really hard for me to talk about this too because my boyfriend's family, they're police officers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they're
okay.
all like genuinely good people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the groups that I'm affiliated with politically or like otherwise, they do not take kindly to police officers. So
I
I'm
see,
kind of
yeah.
kind of stuck in the middle here.
It's weird because, at the same time, people always say like, well, who are you going to call if if your house gets broken into or something?
Yeah.
Who do you call? And you're like, well, call the police and make a police report. Nothing ever comes of it.
Yeah.
The end. Like, it's mostly for insurance purposes, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, you call
It's
it
got
in.
to take
Right.
a...
They're very rarely around during like an actual moment of crisis. Like if you're being attacked and you're like, help, police. How often is like a police woman, man, police they person?
Yeah.
How often are they within like earshot of that? Almost never. It almost
Yeah.
never happens. So
Well, and there's also
I don't
like
know.
increasing reports of people like trying to go to the police for example, if they were assaulted and like they don't really get any help either.
right, like in any kind of
Especially
assault,
if they're
right?
women. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is systemic of this issue where there's people, like we were saying, for example, if there was like a headstrong change the force in the world kind of police
Yeah.
officer that's like, I'm going to go, he goes through
That
boot
would
camp.
give me a little bit of hope.
Right.
Yeah.
He goes through boot camp, but day one, they partner him with a guy who's been there 17 years, and he's like, listen, kid, you don't do it like this. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Not only that, but if you ever rat me out, I have all the keys to
Yeah.
the city.
Yeah.
You're just like, Jesus. So like, honestly, the
Thanks.
kid, you know, like that person from day one will never, ever be able to change the system, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, you can only do these like marginal acts. Like sometimes you see on social media, like an officer will do like, they stopped for lemonade at a
I'm
lemonade
like, oh look,
stand.
they're like us too.
Yeah, just like us.
They eat ice cream
Yeah.
and drink lemonade.
And then the next clip will be like, officer beats the hell out of innocent bystander for filming an arrest
yeah.
completely lawfully.
They got maced.
They got maced
4 times.
Yeah.
4 times.
Why?
And you're like, wait, what's going on? What happened? And then you're like, oh, we're doing an internal investigation. And then they're like, oh, they've been suspended with pay for 8 weeks.
Yep.
And it's like, what comes of that? What there needs to be something that destroys this like thin blue line, you know?
But I mean, where would that change come from? Like,
It's gotta be from within.
Do we, the people who are not police officers, like have to shout loud enough for them to make that happen, or like how do you
I don't know. I recently
inspire that within that system? That's not us.
It's difficult. It's difficult. It's very difficult
Yeah.
because I feel like on some level, historically, the only way major changes ever happen is with extreme violence.
Yeah.
That's a very sad
That's
point of
the
history.
way of humanity.
But that's some of that unflappable spirit we were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't really generate otherwise. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need to have like this threat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you know, I recently got involved in an online altercation.
Oh, let's hear
Oh.
about it.
Oh,
It's
for
lit.
fuck's sake.
It's lit. Flame
this?
emoji.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Episode 120. This
Yeah.
is the 120th week in a row.
Yeah.
Where
I'm just
got
saying.
in an argument with somebody online.
I'm just saying, like they were of the mind state that like it's okay to be violent, and to restrict people's free speech at this like thing, and I'm like, violence should never be the way. Like we should be able to democratically decide our values with communication.
Ideally,
Yeah,
yes.
ideally.
But that's not really how it works.
Right. So, I mean, I'm also on the other side of that though, where I'm like, I recognize historically that it's never been that way. It's never
Yeah.
been that. You
I
have
mean, that's
to make
kind
a
of that
stand.
whole like punch a Nazi argument too, right?
Right.
Like,
Now, is
how
that-
do you?
I don't know. Like, I can't. Like, I'm not. Who the fuck could defend a Nazi? Obviously, no one's
Yeah.
gonna do that. I just don't know if you should be punching people because what happens? It's such a slippery slope for people to be like punch a Nazi, and then you punch a kid, or you punch a person that has no affiliation to any of those groups, but because other people said they did. Do you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it suddenly, and we're standing behind it like it's okay because it's a meme for 2 weeks, and then the internet forgets. Like, but meanwhile, this person has to deal with being assaulted.
Yeah, I don't know.
That guy.
Got to break a few eggs.
No, hold on. the guy,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
guy in question, he definitely is putting himself in positions
He has a
where
very
like,
punchable face.
yeah, like he,
Yeah,
like hold on,
it
I'm
invites
not
fists.
saying he's not. you
I
know,
might
a
not
punchable
volunteer
person.
to punch him because I'm not
Yeah.
a punchy person, but if somebody did, I'd be like,
Yeah,
I'd have a hard time not. I'm just saying that guy, no.
I just have a
Yeah.
hard time advocating for violence outside the octagon.
Who was
That's
this
it.
altercation with?
You're not on mic. What are you gonna say?
Said who?
So C-Mart says who? Who was this altercation with? Oh, the online thing? That doesn't matter.
Okay.
That
We moved
doesn't-
past that.
Doesn't matter. We moved to
different conversation now.
flame emoji. It's lit AF. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. See how dumb that sounds when people talk online? The way they talk in real life. You're like, it's lit AF.
It's lit, yeah.
Flame emoji. And you're like, that's fucking dumb. That sounds dumb. It sounds dumb.
I've used it. IRL. It's been fine.
In real life. What?
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said IRL.
I was watching what's her name from Stranger Things.
What's her name?
Millie, Billy, Vanilli, Killy, whatever the fuck.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Michael Saavedra, excellent source of knowledge. Millie Bobby Brown. She plays 11 in Stranger Things. I was watching her talk to Stephen Colbert, dropping all those, except they don't ironically do it. Like
just how they talk.
like her age group just talks like that. Like
Yeah. Are they millennials or are they like post millennials?
what do you call that? Because Seymour brought up
Post-millennial.
a couple months ago on the show. He said that a millennial is like since 2000, right? No, what do you say?
It's like 80s.
Like 80s, he says.
Like 80s.
Like late 70s.
Late 70s. So who are these kids that are born after 9/11?
It's still the same.
That can't be. That can't be because I have older
There's a
siblings.
long gap between each of these generations.
It's possible.
I mean, when they talk
It's
about
possible.
baby boomers, those people were in like 50s for Christ's sake, like
Ancient.
That's true.
Yeah.
old,
Yeah.
real old.
Wow.
Old AF.
Old AF. Old emoji.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what that
Raisin.
looks like. Raisin? Hilarious. Fuck it. Yeah, like, I don't know. I was listening to her talk, but she was saying things like saying RT as retweet. Like, you say something, like, Nomi says something, and then I agree with the
So
statement.
I RT'd it.
And I just say RT, and you go, I know, right? Like, that's...
IKR.
Yeah, IKR, right? RT, IKR. That just, I don't know. Is that the de-evolution of our society?
No. I mean, you guys contract your words often.
All the time.
Yeah. And you love your acronyms.
Totes.
Yeah.
Like that, totes. Fuck.
Yeah, no,
We're
it's
just
just
old now.
Yeah, I was mad at
That's
myself.
it. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
you're just old.
People getting older.
Yeah,
Which
it's,
is all that is.
Just getting old.
that's just how people communicate.
How
We'll be saying shit's lit as fuck.
Yeah.
they still say it's lit AF, flame emoji, and they're like 45.
Hi, Grandpa.
Yeah. Like, Jesus. Well, that's funny because, like,
There's a whole South Park episode.
I'm like 31. I'm 31, and I remember thinking, like, when I was like 14, I remember being like, 31 is like, you are who you are, and that is the beginning and end of your life. Like,
Yeah.
you know exactly.
You are so old.
Yeah,
when you're
there's
31.
nothing you can do to change your circumstances. And now I'm 31, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I hope there's a way I can change my
Yeah.
circumstances.
I got another 10 years tops.
Yeah, I'm like, jeez, I hope for a fact.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I've been on this health kick. Have you ever done any kind of
Health thing.
health stuff?
Yeah, I kind of dabble here and there. I've never really committed to anything specifically. I'm actually back on the Alpha Brain wagon.
Are you?
Yeah.
They sell
after
Alpha Brain here at Float House.
What?
What?
Yeah, they sell Alpha Brain here.
Sorry, I don't commit to a damn thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I can commit to taking a vitamin a day, and that's what
Yeah.
Alpha Brain
Vitamin?
is. Yeah.
It's like
Vitamin.
it's a vitamin. It increases the productivity of the mind.
Yeah. It's supposed to help you with memory.
it?
Yeah.
It's been clinically tested. It has its detractors for sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogan is the co-owner of the company. Just to throw that out
Oh,
there.
is
Yeah.
that right? Is that right?
What is it? 5-HB
5 HTP.
5 HTP.
Helpful stuff.
I'm sure if you Google a Rogan episode right now, he probably explains every fucking episode for 20 minutes. You can
Yeah.
go check
Probably
it out.
his Float House ad is for his little pills.
Yeah, and then
He sells
some.
at the beginning
and
of
then
the show.
some.
I didn't know you took Alpha Brain though.
Yeah,
You
I
like
did.
it, though?
I did when I was in school, and I feel like it had a bit of a kick to it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was working really hard, it kind of helped me stay focused.
All right.
I think.
Is it like an upper, like that?
No.
It's not like a.
It's not a noticeable buzz.
No, right? Okay.
Not at all.
I've never tried.
It'll
it. I
make
have
your
no
like
idea.
pee kind of funnier. That's about it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a urine discretionary product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like vitamin B.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
But yeah, I was taking it in school. I think the consensus last time I checked in, very briefly, was that if you are working really hard and kind of exacerbating yourself,
Right.
that's when it's kind of useful. But otherwise, you may as well not.
Right. Not like
it.
day to day.
No.
But like when you really need it.
Yeah.
Do you have to take it ahead of time to have the
Desired
effect?
effects?
Like yeah, like do you have to?
Yeah, like about an hour or so. Like I
oh,
take.
so it's not like you have to load up 48 hours beforehand.
No.
Because I'm thinking like it's the brain, right? Like.
Yeah. It takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I take one in the morning, and it kind of helps me interact with people.
But you notice the difference.
I also don't drink coffee, so yeah.
I don't drink coffee either.
Yeah.
Never drink coffee. Do you drink coffee, Mike?
Every damn day, bud.
I've never drank coffee in my life. I've
Really?
I've had a sip, and I did not like it. And,
Interesting.
I'm very picky though, so I don't know if that's been explained.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I don't like it though.
That's
Yeah. Well, I just stopped like a couple of weeks ago because it was making me super anxious, and I just haven't really gone back into it.
You're just
I've had problems before, like
Yeah.
where like
Yeah,
there'll be weeks where like I need to just like take a week or two off of it.
But when you
'Cause-
get back into it, you get that first coffee, you feel like you're on meth.
It's great. Like the buzz though has never been like as noticeable for me. I think with coffee and like caffeine, unless it's like some kind of outrageous, like I'm just like, well, I'm gonna have like a 5-shot latte right now, and then I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like I don't really feel it. Like for me, I love the taste of it, and in the morning,
Okay.
like I just enjoy having like a warm drink.
Yeah.
I don't mind if it's tea
Well, it's like a
or
ritual
coffee.
thing,
Like
right?
for me, it's either or. Like I'm gonna have a tea or a coffee, but I need that morning beverage.
I'm
Yeah.
going to IG boomerang that effect he just had of like his like.
Because it does happen. Like
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
it is a savage feeling when you do have a lot of caffeine
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah, I had a pop on Saturday for the first time in like forever.
Yeah.
Soda.
And a
Kind of
soda,
soda.
root beer,
Root beer.
and it was caffeine free, and I still felt the sugar buzz, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, whoa! I was like actually
And
tingling.
Jack or what?
Yeah.
Yup.
Yes.
Yup.
Nice.
A&W root beer is
So much energy right now.
phenomenal. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, and then like 20 minminutes later, I was like, just gonna catch a nap.
Yeah.
So you guys are okay with that? Yeah, like totally down. Yeah, I've been struggling with willpower to do things properly. That's it. Like I have a very regimented way to do things, and then I have like the this like loose goose kind of method
Yeah.
of doing it, and I just I've been trying really hard to succeed. So that being said,
Do you
What have
find
you been eating? What, like, I
Do you
just
find
want-
it hard to stick to a routine?
me,
Yeah.
I am probably like you brought up like type A.
Yeah.
Like I am like I don't know. I'm probably clinically undiagnosed as like I don't know how to explain this, but I basically if it's not the way I do it, then
Yeah.
it may not
So
as
you're a
well be
control
done.
freak?
I'm probably like an insane control freak. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Rob up.
see where it says probably question mark. Well, I'm trying to be self-aware to be like, okay, look, I know that I can be difficult to work with sometimes, and I know that sometimes that same characteristic is like what makes people want to work with you. You know.
Yeah.
That's just me trying to find a balance between those pieces, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I've been thinking a lot since you said this like about 45 minutes ago or so
Yeah.
about like being one way at work and one way when you're amongst friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really am just like one.
You're just one person.
One type.
Yeah.
I should probably change this up. I could follow.
you?
Well,
Well, if you try it,
I don't know.
you it might
you're-
work, it might not
You're
work.
successful. I'm trying to model
Well,
myself.
Still
my-
be super weird about it though.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Show up one day,
My
guys.
success works for me and for the way I work. It might not work for you. It might not feel right for you.
They're like, why are you so different lately? Well, I had a conversation with Nomi Chi.
You've been
and
trying
she's
this new thing.
Yeah, she's put me on to splitting my personality.
Yeah,
in a way.
compartmentalizing.
Compartmentalizing who I am, and this is who I am when I play video games. I'm loose.
this guy.
I'm
I just don't have a care in the world.
Yeah, I'm hang 10. You know? Make a surfboard sign, that kind of thing. Okay, sometimes I go home from podcasts and I go, fuck, why didn't I ask the guest this?
Yeah.
Damn it, happens all the time.
Why don't you write things down?
That would.
We should really have show notes. It's the thing we got to.
How do you guys know?
It's the thing we should.
I don't have show notes that I constantly review 6 days before every
I'm
day.
going to tell everybody right now. He does not. There's 0 papers in front of him.
That's right.
He looks at Google once in a while, but that's.
C-Mart
can
just
see
threw
it.
it to the
It's-
camera.
it's
Look, you see,
on a-
there's nothing
it's
there.
on a
There's nothing
camera.
there.
Look
There's
at
nothing
it.
there.
Look at it.
But like, that's not because I'm not prepared. That's because I
No,
come
you're
in
prepared.
here. I come in
I'm
here.
just saying, there's no show notes.
Come in here. I'm very well
Middle of the
prepared.
show.
I heard.
Well,
a
you want it to be like fluid and organic
That's
as
right.
well. You can't just keep checking a paper and
That's
being
right.
like, next question.
That's right.
He doesn't need to write questions down. This, you know.
Yeah, except for when he forgets them.
No.
Exactly. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You have several pieces of art on your body.
A few.
A few.
Yeah.
Which I think obviously comes with the territory. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. You also have is this septum
Yeah.
pierced? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
And you have your tongue split?
Yeah, I do.
That now, you are the only person I know who has their tongue split. But
Okay.
apparently it is more common than I thought.
Yeah, it's not really
Yeah.
apparent up front.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I would like to know, can you just tell us really quick
What that process
what
is?
was that like? Like, because
it
the
was-
idea that I have a tongue and I'm
Yeah.
going to like
Cut it in half.
cut it. It's just like, I'm like, I don't know. Was I being punished? Like that kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know? It sounds like
Well, I had the idea when I was, I think, like 14 or 15, and I saw it in this like crazy, like underground body modification magazine, and I told myself I still wanted it when I was 25 that I'd get it.
wow.
So I turned 23 or 24, and I thought you may as well. It's been long enough time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I went to this person who's working in Bellingham at the suggestion of my ex-boss, who is a really well-renowned piercer. And the way this guy does it is he puts anesthetic in two sides of the tongue and down the middle with a needle. And
Right.
that was probably the worst part for me because I don't really like needles. I also
Needles
don't
in
like
the tongue? Yeah.
needles in my mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I don't know anyone that does.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
not my
okay.
thing.
Super psyched on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
can't wait.
No,
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah.
And then he made the cut, which I didn't feel at all. And
So
then
he's just like a
it-
scalpel.
with a scalpel.
Scalpel, yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah. And then he stitched both the sides up so that they don't fuse back together. And then he just sent me home like that. And I had to eat smoothies for a couple of days. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I remember coming to like a Halloween party or something shortly after this happened, and I couldn't really talk.
Oh,
It was
you know what?
pretty funny.
I do. Yes. Yeah, I do remember this now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
like, what did they give you? Did they give you anything for afterwards? Like, how bad is like the pain?
It's pretty bad.
Pretty, yeah. I
Yeah,
imagine like
yeah,
any
once-
like
Once your
you're
nerves wake up.
sleeping, like
Is
that's
it-
what
yeah.
I would think. Like
Yeah.
sleeping when you're not like really thinking about it.
I
you're
remember
like,
the first
"Oh,
night.
shit."
The first night I was trying to sleep, and you're supposed to sleep with your head propped up just for circulation.
Yeah.
And I was like crying because I was so uncomfortable, and I like tried to eat something earlier on, and I couldn't. I was just like,
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
miserable right now. But it was fine. It heals in about a week when they take the sutures out.
That's not bad.
That's not bad
I
at
thought
all.
it would be way
Yeah.
longer
Mouth
than
heals
that.
pretty
The
quick.
tongue,
Yeah.
the tongue heals like so quickly, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
what-
when
I
you
bited
bite your
enough
tongue
to-
and it's healed pretty quick.
Yeah. Damn though.
Yeah.
Damn. So even the stitches after must have been just hell.
Yeah, well, actually, the numbing wore off kind of partway through him doing the sutures, so it felt like
Did you have to do that again?
no, it just felt really painful.
Oh my God! You just had to roll with it.
Yeah,
Sounds like a fucking Saw episode or
Yeah.
something like that. Jesus. But
was okay.
maybe we could get you on camera just to show people, just so we show people
Like
real
that
quick.
one?
Yeah, this one right here. Oh, look at that, folks. That's
and it's
rad.
actually healed like maybe a third of the way, and I do have the option of going back and getting it resplit. But I'm not sure if I want to do that anytime soon.
I
Take
can't.
some time on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Take some
I
time
don't know.
on that one.
I don't
Give
know.
it a little thinky. Yeah.
I will say this: all your effort and pain was worth it
I
because
think so, too.
it looks fucking cool.
Yeah,
it looks
it is cool.
It does look really rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. But like, yeah, I don't know if I'd do it. I don't know if I'd do it.
Well,
myself.
obviously, you're not going to get it.
I might do it. How dare you? How dare you take this from
Yeah.
me? That I
bet you can't.
Yeah. Oh. On camera, now I have to do it.
Yeah.
See, that's my personality.
I
Now I'm like,
definitely
well, now I have to.
don't.
Yeah. Is that a challenge? Okay, now I guess I have to. Yeah. Okay.
On camera.
On camera
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Great. Great.
It's the best live episode we've ever had.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah. Dude, if we had an episode where I got my tongue split live, it would just, first of all, it would emasculate me to the fullest extent. I'd just be just a shredded human.
Well,
Just
and
a
it would show
hollow
how
husk.
big of an asshole I am because I'd be laughing like, the entire time. Like, don't stop laughing. I'm like, can't do it. You're too funny right now.
Jesus Christ. Nomi Chi, you are phenomenal.
Thank you.
We love you. You are a friend of the show. always have been and always will be, now officially. I would like to ask you if people want to follow you or they want to maybe seek you out for
Harass you for booking.
Yeah.
seek you out for the 12 minutes online that you're ever available for online booking.
Yeah.
If people actually are or want to do that, how can they go ahead and look you up?
Your art.
No, they're not allowed to
Nope.
look at the art. This is only
Booking
for
only.
booking.
Yeah,
Now, if
okay.
people want to see your art pieces and how to find you online, how do they do that?
My website I keep updated regularly, and it's www.nomi-chi.com.
Yep.
And on that website, there's an FAQ for appointments, and you can sign up for my newsletter. There's a link in the FAQ.
I love how personable in Nomi it is. Actually, it's so good. It's like, please refrain from doing this.
Yeah, please don't
Yeah,
do this.
please don't do this.
And thank you.
But thank you. And yeah, it's just so polite. But yeah, like I could tell, I'm like, oh, you wrote this. You wrote your
Yeah.
own FAQ, which was great.
Yeah. And on social media, my Instagram is lizard milk. So that's lizard.
Did you just change it to that
Two
recently?
underscores and milk. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did, right?
Yeah.
Lizard milk. Sorry, lizard LIZ
ARD.
underscore.
Two underscores.
Two underscores.
And then milk.
I'm also in the underscore club. MD underscore Boomsday.
Yeah.
Y'all.
It's a good punctuation mark.
Yep. People are like, what's an underscore? I'm like, I already don't
Don't
want
do-
you to follow me. I already don't
Figure
need
it
you.
out.
Yeah, don't need you. Don't worry about it. So Mr. Saavedra, how can people follow you if they want to do so online?
I don't have underscores. You can just follow me at the Saavedra. It'd be great.
How do you spell Saavedra?
Saavedra.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Oh yeah. He's like it sounds. It doesn't sound like that. It doesn't sound like
Too
S.
many A's.
Yeah, how many 4 A's or
Hey.
something? There's the right amount of A's.
I wish C-Mart had a Twitter. I would read
Oh
that.
God! First of all, he's not on mic, so you have to yell this pretty loud. But C-Mart, if people want to follow you online, how can they do so?
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing, he says. And so for 120th episode, we continue knowing that it's not a thing. But if you did want to follow anything, you probably follow Boomsday _ Alliance. That's a good one on the IG.
Mm-hmm.
Flame emoji, it's lit AF. Just so you guys.
Red 100 emoji.
Yep. Red 100 emoji. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good
Nice.
one.
Yeah,
That's a good.
It's pretty fire.
Yep. It's pretty fire indeed. It's lit. It's lit. Oh my God.
Cool. Thanks for having me. It's
Hey,
super fun.
we really appreciate you coming down here. It was such a long
All the
journey.
way.
It was such a long journey
Yeah.
across the street for you to come do this, and we appreciate it. But yeah, if you guys want to follow the podcast, we love it if you subscribe to us, leave us a review. Make sure you visit our sponsors as well. If you want to follow us, you can do so on iTunes. You just search Intergalactic Interviews. We're the only ones. And if you want to follow our channel on YouTube, that would be a huge help to us. We appreciate it.
Hey, if you're on Pocket Casts on Android,
That's true. Yes. Now
Intergalactic Interviews.
Now on Pocket Cast as well. Yeah, we're on so many like aggregates out there. We're on this Russian one. I've never.
Pretty much,
Oh, yeah?
if you're looking for a podcast,
Yeah.
you know,
They just-
podcast app.
There's all
search
these.
us up.
Yeah, there's all these services out there that just like intercept your RSS feed, and they just like they're like, oh, well, we'll just monetize this, and you're like, oh, you're just making money off our show. Okay, that's fine.
nice. That's
fine.
nice
We'll
for
talk
you.
about you soon. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, if you guys want to follow us, we'd appreciate that. Drop us a like, drop us a share, or just follow us, subscribe.
Leave
It's
us a
very easy.
review.
Leave us a
How about
review.
that?
That would be something we really appreciate because that's the kind of stuff that lets
That's
other
what
people
gets
know.
us to be doing some MeUndies ads, you know?
MeUndies,
Oh, man.
MeUndies.
I heard
Not
they're really
for
nice.
fucking free. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, I heard they're really nice too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they're really nice too if they pay us. Guys, we appreciate you all watching the show every week and listening to us. We want to thank our guest again for coming down and doing the show, and our sponsors, Off the Rail Brewing, very delicious beer. Go check out their website, offtherailbrewing.com.
Off
And
Rail on Instagram.
of course, we got to thank the Zaramba brothers and the Float House staff. Always, we love you guys so much. And
Float House on Instagram. Is that what
Float House on Instagram. Yeah, one word, FLOATHOUSE, Float House. And we just bought them a mouse pad. I'm sure you'll see that on their Instagram soon. That was pretty funny. But okay, we love you guys very much, and we'll see
you
you
next week.
all next
Bye.
week.